Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. It's Monday morning, and I tell you, if you like a conspiracy theory, you're in the right spot because we got the mother of all conspiracy theories for you today. Strap in. What's happened in the last 24 hours? Well, we've got shocking news of former President Joe Biden's terrible late stage prostate cancer diagnosis. Terrible, isn't it? It's already starting in the press. I've seen things like, well, no wonder he had such an appalling appearance on The View. Just, what was it, a week or two ago? I mean, it was terrible. He was stumbling and fumbling his words and mumbling, and Jill had to poke him and shut him up and interject. But it must have been the cancer, you know. Must have been the cancer. Nothing to do with the dementia we've all seen him suffer with for almost a decade. They can explain everything away. Now keep in mind, the press has been explaining his cognitive decline away for years. You've got, when it is obvious that there's a problem, then you'll have some pundit come on and say, saw him the other day, he was perfectly fine, on top of his game, never been better. I mean, we heard stuff like this all along, no matter how apparent his decline was. It was never acknowledged by the mainstream media. It wasn't the cancer, as they're going to now try to make you believe. That narrative has begun. And I've heard people say, well, what about his wife, Dr. Jill Biden? How can you live with somebody and not see symptoms of cancer? You're a doctor. Well, a little bit of truth for you. As much as she has an ego the size of the earth, and insists on being called Dr. Jill Biden, she's got a PhD in education. She's not a doctor. She's not a doctor. She's a fraud herself. But, you gotta say, if you're conspiracy minded and you look at everything that's going on right now and old Joe's got cancer, well, it's bloody convenient timing, this diagnosis, just as a series of negative stories about his final years in the White House is coming out. I mean, we've got the Autopen, the scandals, the covers-ups, the pardons. Ukraine. Now, I've got something I want to read to you from CNN here. Let me just pull it up. It's in two parts. Okay, here we go. CNN host media pundit Brian Stelter has questioned the timing of former President Joe Biden's announcement on Sunday that he's been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer, calling it extraordinary as the news coincides with a series of negative stories. And that's CNN, can you imagine? Not really a truth machine, let's put it that way. Well, now the article goes on. Biden, 82, received the diagnosis on Friday, according to a spokesperson, after doctors discovered, quote, a small nodule on his prostate that required additional evaluation and subsequently determined that the cancer is a high grade and has spread to the bone. His representative said the former president and his family are currently reviewing treatment options with physicians. The timing is just extraordinary, Stelter told his network colleagues, Jessica Dean, in response to the development. Now, there's a second part to this. Hang on. Biden learned of the diagnosis on Friday. Well, what was the biggest Biden story on Friday? It was the release of those excruciating audio excerpts from his conversations with Robert Hur back in 2023. You have that audio release as one element of the timing here, Seltzer continued. And then you have this book coming out, one of the biggest political books in several years. He was referring to the leaking of audio on Friday of Biden's 2023 interview with Justice Department Special Counsel Robert Hur about allegations he improperly stored classified documents in his Delaware home. That's just one of the issues. We've got the whole Hunter Biden stuff that we know is true, even though Joe pardoned him. That's not going to make any difference, and we'll get to why in a minute. So much scandal. So much scandal. But it'll all go away if he does, right? Bingo! Late-stage cancer problem solved. There's an even deeper scandal here, though. There's a huge part of the population that believed that the 2020 elections was stolen by the Democrats. Now that's a rabbit hole. And for the record, I don't believe the Democrats won either. I've made copious notes. Now, from the beginning of Biden's term, it's widely understood that Barack Obama was the brains behind the operation. Back to him in a bit. Now, let's look at the scandal for a minute. The whole Ukraine thing, it's brought to light Hunter Biden's dealing with Burisma in Ukraine. That was basically just a slush fund for the Bidens. They were making huge bank laundering money through Ukraine. Allegedly. And the situation in Ukraine, it is not what the mainstream media would have you believe. My opinion. That's something to research. Now, Obama, he was the architect of everything that's been going on. He's the power behind Biden. You know? He drove policy, etc. Biden was already in decline. Biden was Obama's puppet, his front man. And Jill went along with it, because she's a fame whore and loved the attention. But there's an even deeper reason. She knew, and Obama knew, that Joe wasn't Joe. The real Joe Biden was replaced years ago. Different ears, different teeth, different chin, eyes, even a tattoo. Like we'd never notice. Here's the original Joe, tattoo on the bicep, and here's Joe getting his photo op COVID shot. No tattoo. Not even with the booster. Blackmail in a way, you see. And now in recent weeks, now that Trump is in control again, things are happening. And in recent weeks, the Obamas have been in the news for other reasons. Divorce rumors. Now, here we go. It just keeps, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper. It's been widely known for a very long time that Michelle Obama is actually a man. Here's some evidence for you. Barack Obama himself has even called her Michael in public a couple of times, and it's been recorded more than once. But then again, Barack Obama isn't who he says either. Research Barry Soetoro. That'll be interesting if you've never looked into that before. While you're at it, look at their kids too. Look into that big rabbit hole there. And you know, most interesting is now, I mean, the timing again, the fact that Malia Obama is dropping the Obama name. She's just going to be known as Malia, whatever her middle name is. So, just find it interesting that at a time when I see the operation winding down, get rid of the imposter, hang Obama out to dry, Michael stage left, the kids disassociating, because when it's all dismantled, it'll be harder to bring all those loose ends together to figure out what really happened. So we have an operation to cover for the real operation, and when it's time to close it out, the people are taken out of the way. And that's what I think's going on now. Hope you enjoyed this. Do some research. I think you'll find it interesting. Leave me a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. Like, subscribe, and share this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, everybody.